We are back. Not live, recording. This is the radio show about nothing. This is your boy DJ Ish. We haven't done an intro, like a regular intro, in so long. So shout out to the new listeners. Shout out to the TikTok listeners. Shout out to the Apple Podcast listeners. Shout out to y'all running up the TikTok clips, the Drakes, we got a lot of stuff on the way. To my left, lifelong best friend, co-creator, co-owner. I'm forgetting the other adjectives. Oh, recording artist. I always say that. Tap in, talk to him.
What's poppin', baby? It is Drock. We are happy to be back. This is the show about nothing. I can't wait to get a jingle and drops and all of that stuff. It's coming, though. It's coming. All that shit is really expensive. So, subscribe, like, comment. Thank you again for anybody giving us your eyes, ears. And we are going to get straight into it. This is episode 60. I think he said that. Episode 60, which is crazy. I always say anytime I say an episode, it's really probably like 300 and something right now.
Yeah,
We just started putting on YouTube early this year. So thank you for rocking with us. We have our end of the year wrap-up show coming next week. So be on the lookout for that. All things sports, all things music, wrapping up the year. That will be our last show of the year, actually, because I'll be out of town the next 2 weeks. And we'll be back at the top of the year. We're hitting the ground full force. You know what we got coming. Also, if you are young and you don't mind posting clips and running a social media page, and you would be okay with being an intern and being paid a couple $100 monthly, get at me. I'm tired of posting TikTok clips, and I need somebody to tweet for us because it's way too old to be on Twitter tweeting about games every night.
We hired 6 interns.
Bro, so
Shout out to the former interns.
Shout out to my dog. So.
Shout out to the former interns.
But yeah, so y'all get at me. I appreciate y'all. And we're going to get into the shits. We're going to start off with the most important news of the week, man.
Yeah.
Kanye West.
Damn,
last week, my boy said, hey, that shit ain't coming out. Nope. And that's my dog. I trust my dog. Mm-hmm. So I said, that shit ain't coming out. My little brother hit me and said, yo, you heard the Kanye? I said, fuck that. It said it's not coming out. It ain't coming out.
Nope.
You feel me?
And they called me crazy. They called me crazy. Thursday, niggas like, bro, you said it was dropping, bro. You don't got the album, bro. What's wrong with you, bro? I said, fam, it's not going to come out.
It's not coming out. And they're acting like it's coming out again tonight-ish.
No, I've been there. No, I've been there. I've been there.
Some nigga got they wood rolled already. It's 8 o'clock. They told, babe, I'm rolling up. I'm ready. This for the Kanye. Bro. I got another blunt for us now, but this Kanye.
He got the game booted up. He like, man, I'm gonna be ready at midnight.
Hey, we gonna get on Zone at midnight, listen to Kanye play Warzone, and I'm gonna have my blunt. I gotta roll, remember?
Oh God.
So, look, man. By the time this is out, you guys will already be disappointed.
Right.
So I am just here to say I'm sorry for the disappointment.
Facts.
But in between all of this, the reason people do think an album is coming out is because Kanye had a listening party out in Miami.
Crazy
with
party.
Shout out to Northwest, most importantly, young lady. We love you. That was amazing. I love the kids so much.
Yeah.
Every time I see the celebrities' kids doing some music shit,
Just
it makes me happy. Yeah, it makes me so happy, bro. Dirk, Offset, Thug. Y'all know the list. Y'all saw by now. Y'all see it. Kodak. Shout out to Kodak. Get some help,
please.
But first off, does the music you hear make you want the album? Is what I asked.
So the music itself sounded pretty good. Yeah. I like the music. I liked, the Thug song. I think I sent you the Thug song. Thug verse crazy. Ridiculous. Free Thug. Ridiculous. Free Slime. But sonically, it sounded, it felt like the brand, like what you've come to expect.
For sure.
Lyrically, I don't think it was finished by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
With almost all Kanye verses, they did not sound finished, which is kind of on par for where we are in this album cycle.
Yep.
Because all the Kanye albums kind of had the same cycle.
Exactly.
We're at the first pre-quiet listening party. Oh my God, go get the aux. This wasn't where it'll be in a couple months, which is where it'll be.
I agree.
Yeah.
So if I would have heard those songs and Kanye would have been rapping, I might be a little convinced it was coming out tonight.
Right.
But when I heard those verses, I was like, y'all got to be out y'all mind if y'all think he fixing these verses between now and Thursday.
Yeah, no.
Like,
it's not a chance.
It's not a chance. He's having a listening party tonight.
It took Donda like 4 weeks to be done.
This album is not coming out, bro. Please chill out. It's going to come out in the next 2 to 3 months, but it's not coming out tonight or in the next 2 weeks, bro. They're going to probably I'm banking on him doing at least one stadium listening party.
Oh, yeah.
Before it might be the last one. The album might come out that week, but I don't think he does all these listening parties, gets all of this commotion, all of this buzz about his album, and doesn't market that into what we know him to do, which is putting on a great show. So the music was great though. Thug, man, ridiculous, just ridiculous. But like you said, the verses that you heard were good. The features that you heard were really good. You know, when you get with the GOATs, you're gonna rap like you one of the GOATs. And the beat sounded Donda-esque to me. It sounded like he's continuing that sound, and it is. What I love about his music is that it is so, like, you can't miss it, if that makes sense. Like, the feel that he is trying to get you to feel, you can't miss it. By the way the drums hit you and the vocals come in and the things of that nature. It's such a real nerd way to look at music, but, like, that's how we talk about it. And it's just, you really feel his intention. Exactly. Every time you turn on one of his songs. And that was the first thing that popped up the screen for me, was like, I barely listen to it. You know how I feel about leaks, especially his. Like, I'm waiting for the finished product. Right. But I had to tap in and see, just making sure it is what I think it was. And it's just like, dog, like, that motherfucker's a genius. Dog. And that shit is crazy,
like,
for real.
You don't get this with shit.
Nobody, bro.
Any other hip hop artist, but like, he's the only person that could preview songs where the lyrics are clearly unfinished. Yeah, and like, nobody will care.
Nobody cares.
Nobody, like, his the beats, the sonically, the combinations, and then the features are always so good. It's like, all right, well, just finish your stuff up. Like,
like, it's okay. Thank you for this. I'll take it. Yeah, the niggas still running around listening to the Donda 2.
Oh God, oh God, listen. Until them Future verses come out for real, man. I ain't gonna lie, Future got a couple of the joints on there.
Do I look happy? Motherfucker, go, dog. So, shout out to Kanye West.
Yep.
Estimate. That's the last thing I'll say. What is the timetable of this?
I'd say February.
February? Okay.
I'd say February.
Okay. Any holidays coming up? Any anniversaries, birthdays for him? I know that's usually around like artists kind of try to drop. Is around some special day or something like that.
I'm really not sure. I'd have to check the thread for vultures, because everybody's like, oh yeah, he tweeted this and take the W. It's like, but I really think, like, right now, I think it's, let's say 50%. Right. But like you said, we are still missing a little piece in the timeline where he goes to SoFi Stadium and he sells it out, and then he lives in SoFi Stadium for the week. like he did in Atlanta, where you just live in the bottom of a, sold out stadium for however. Wow, what a crazy time that was. We forget. Like,
bruh, he was doing push-ups. He was on live doing push-ups. They was like, look, y'all, he doing push-ups.
They said, bruh, it's $1 million a day. He's been there 2 weeks. So what the fuck?
Why?
You don't got a laptop? Like,
bro, do you know how close the hotel is to that stadium? It's like a tunnel you can get to. You really got to go on the road. Like, if you rent just a tunnel, you can just go through. Like, you can just not, dude. Yo. You can just go get a couple rooms. Like, if you got enough to spend $1 million on a room, you can buy a whole floor of a hotel and just be yours.
Like, bro. For what though? Like, what was the purpose? But yeah, I think early February. I really do.
So I agree with that. I was thinking February. Yeah. But I think the earliest it would come out as New Year's. I can see him being dramatic. Right. For sure. That's the milestone type rollout type drop I was talking about is New Year's, but if it's not New Year's, February for sure. Yeah, for sure. All right. Oh, Conway. We were supposed to talk about Conway last week, and we didn't because we was.
It's amazing. He dropped I wanted to tell you that. He dropped another album in between the week that we were supposed to. He dropped another 7-song album. What? Yeah. Shout out Conway, man.
The one with Conductor?
No, he dropped another one. Like,
oh.
So he got one with Conductor, and then he has another. I'm trying to grab. Hold on. Let me find.
Wow, I didn't know that. Yeah. But Conway and Conductor dropped a project together. If you like Conway, you're going to like this project. It is more of what he does. The features are great. The beats are conductor-esque, and Conway is Conway-esque. I can tell that this is a stage in his career where he just wants you to know, like, I really do this Griselda style formula I'm the best at, and I mean that. Benny finna drop, and I think this is in a way they kind of roll out each other in a way. The way they work, I think this is kind of just like give him a Benny verse, let him hear some nice shit. And Benny album, he's been shopping his album all year, which is how albums used to be shot for show. So I think at the top of next year you'll hear Benny drop and some Conway verses. But I do like the project. It is just more of Conway, which I ain't never gonna complain about.
No, I as a personal Conductor fan, loved it. It was supposed to come out the same night as Spider-Man, got pushed back, but I love the project. All the beats are crazy. I'm a giant Conductor guy. And I definitely like the kind of progression in Conway's rap where it's like, I'm not underground no more, lame ass niggas. Like, I'm him now. Like, y'all told me I couldn't do it making this type of music, but you wrong. And I got it now. And now you see the biggest rappers in the world hitting my producer. Like, I am definitely here. I love to hear that in Conway music. He dropped a 4-song EP the week after.
Back. That's crazy.
Called Mind Tricks. Great 4 songs. It's only about 9 minutes between the 4 songs, but very concise, very very hard. Shout out to Conway, BSF, all of them for real. We're probably one of the biggest,
For sure. Supporters of them for sure.
Dead eyes.
For sure. All right. Lastly, the Queen. If you know. The Queen. Young Money, 09 till forever. You feel me? We on top. So, Nikki, I love you. That's really all I got to say. I don't do women's business. My simple review is it's good music. I have a bar for a girlfriend, so I like it. I enjoy Nicki Minaj's music. I don't listen to Nicki Minaj the same way I listen to a Drake or a Lil Wayne or a Thug or something of that nature. So I'm not going into a Nicki album trying to dissect.
I'm not combing through no.
I know. Right. I'm not. Some shit I will say just absolutely stood out is Barbie Dangerous is nuts. Oh, yeah, that's some shit I would put on the gym by myself.
It's some joints on here.
It's some joint, man. That shit with Cole is a beautiful song. I really, really like that song. I think the joint with Drake, Summertime. You get around some baddies, you get boat money. We on the lake with it this summer.
No. When it gets warm and the video drops, when the video drops for that one. That's when that.
Come on, They know what they're doing over there. They know what they're doing over there. The singles that were on there are good, and I think it's one more. Oh, the one with Future. Future never missed. So Future and Nicki crazy. And I think what I will say that stood out about me about it positively is that she was very vulnerable on this album, and I really did like that. Right. I appreciate that in our music. We both do. Like, we really appreciate vulnerability in our music, especially coming off a 5-year hiatus and you becoming a mother and going through all of the drama we've seen Nicki, and I like to hear her side of it and her music and the way she feels she needs to express it. I think I got a lot of who Nicki is and who she's turning into. And lastly, like, it's fun. Like, it's some fun music.
No, it's definitely. And I just mentioned to you, but I'm fresh off a holiday party yesterday, and they were playing some of the new album outside. I swear to God, they did. I think the Uzi song they played.
That's a hit. I was
listening to it. I was like, man, this is a banger.
It's a hit.
And then she came back. I was like, oh, this is from the new album. Yeah. So it's definitely good music. You're going to hear it outside. I've heard. It's been out 2 weeks. I've already heard it outside. Yes. So I know if I heard it, y'all going to hear it. But everything you said, 1,000% correct. I thought it was good. As Daniel mentioned, we not the target audience. No. Nicki didn't, go to the booth for us. But,
at least I hope not. She did on Barbie Dangerous, I will say. She did on that motherfucker.
She definitely did, yeah. But other than that, I thought it was gas. No notes for real. Like she'll be number 1 for the next 2 weeks with no Kanye.
200K. Yeah. 200K first week off a 5-year hiatus. That's no slight. That's a big deal.
No, that's serious.
That's a big deal. That's no bundle or anything, I don't think either. I think that's pure just streams and sales. So shout out to Nicki. Is there anything else I wanted to add to that? Oh, I have been seeing people talk about the Pink Friday 2 title, and I think she made a mistake with that. I think this album would be better received if this album was just be called "Hey, I'm Back." Yeah. Just some generic title or some eye-popping title, eye-catching title. But Pink Friday 2 gave people a sense of nostalgia, and I think when you do that, you give people expectations. Right. I went into this album with no expectations because I'm a 25-year-old male who was listening to Drake and Lil Wayne when Pink Friday came out. I wasn't tripping. Yeah. But for my barbs, like the Charlene's, the Kaylas, the Taylors, Pink Friday means something to them. Like, real deal. Yeah. This shit means something to me. So you doing a sequel, and I'm expecting this without you even saying anything. Right. I understand I shouldn't because it's 10 years removed, but you cannot help but have expectations. For example, if Drake were to come out and say he is dropping Take Care 2. Exactly. And he drops if Drake would have called For All the Dogs Take Care 2, niggas would have been pissed.
Yeah, no, that's a fact.
It's simple as that. As good as people think the album, even if we can go take it back to the album we all agree is damn near borderline probably going to be a classic, Her Loss. Yeah. If Her Loss would have been called Take Care 2, niggas would have had an issue with it. No matter, they would have come around and they would have been like, the music is good, but initially, that initial shock of what you think this album is going to be because of the title kind of ruins the first couple weeks
of the listen. I will definitely agree with you on that part. And I agree even for not just classics, because even when it's a classic like Pink Friday was, that changed so much for her career and just rap in general for women at the time. Like, it's for your example, if Drake called For Loss What a Time to Be Alive too, niggas like, come on, like that shit. Exactly. But like, come on, like that's not exactly. And that is just the price you pay. But you do get the nostalgia. People are excited to listen to it. So.
And it brings people to it. So it's a couple thousand people that probably tapped into this a little bit earlier than they would have because it was called Pink Friday 2. So you're playing a game. I do think that may not have been all her decision. That may have been the label team decision. Like, hey, I mean, this album, if you go to the bottom, this is still on Young Money. But if you have looked at Young Money's roster lately, it is Lil Wayne, it is Nicki Minaj, and it's some other people that
Gutta.
And Gutta. It ain't okay, Gutta. You feel me? And there's a bunch of underground artists. Some niggas that can rap on there, but like nobody's streaming Euro music, nobody's streaming J. Jones. Like, it's just not happening at this point. So they are the moneymaker. She is the moneymaker. And it's been like, Wayne don't dropped a couple mixtapes, went on a couple tours. It's like, he bringing the money.
Nah, somebody gotta put the lights on.
Nicki, come on, bro. Like,
the lights on.
These lights gotta come on, dog. Like, and Nicki got out her deal. It's Young Money. There's no Cash Money on there. So that means she's free from Cash Money, signed a new deal with Young Money, probably a new couple albums. So it's like, yo, we need you to turn these lights on. Nicki dropped a lot of people going on vacation. And
put that pink wig on, baby.
Exactly. And because of that, I'm like, maybe that wasn't really her decision.
Yeah, facts.
And I kind of feel like strongly about that because of what this album was. It doesn't really feel like a Pink Friday. It
doesn't feel like a sequel.
It doesn't feel like a sequel. It feels like where she is now.
And that's why I agree with you with the title just by itself, with the content, and you feel like it could have been called something else because of how different. I don't say how different the music is, but where she is in her life, she is different on the songs than she was in Pink Friday. Like, she's so much different than she was when we were in middle school. That's why Pink Friday 2, it's like...
She was in her mid-20s.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was us.
Yeah.
She was us. That's now. Crazy. Think about how much we've grown in the 4 years, in the past 4 years since the pandemic and all of that shit. Think about how we've grown together. Facts. And then think about where we'll be at 36.
Yeah.
and talk about you want a sequel to that album. Like, that's it's just not possible. Yeah. And that's okay.
Shout out to the Barbs. We rock with it.
For sure. We love you. Shout out to the Barbs always. Before we get off music and we get into the man's game, I do have to ask, how did you enjoy the Beyonce movie?
Oh yeah. So we went to the Beyonce movie. So this is why like life just be so funny. We accidentally went to the wrong theater. So like, instead of going, like, we wasn't gonna go to I don't care. We wasn't going to the one in Conyers. We wouldn't go to the AMC in Conyers.
Of course not. Why would you do that?
Yeah. She, Shorty wanted the recliner seats. It's whatever. I don't care. But I didn't realize it was 3 hours. Let me make sure to tell the story. So I'm playing the game, like, trying to figure out when the ticket, what tickets or whatever. So I'm not really like locked into the ticket purchase. Right. So I, as any man does, if you're not doing this for our younger audience, definitely do this. Instead of just doing it myself, I take a step, asked for approval with the step, and then we continued. So I said, yo, I'm gonna get the tickets. She said, okay. So I screenshotted the theater. I said, this one? She said, yeah.
That's about right. That's about right.
I got the tickets. About halfway through the drive, I'm like, damn, this is kind of far. We 50 minutes into the drive. I'm like, yo, where are we going? So we got there at like, I think it was like 9. It was kind of a late showing. And we were the only people in there, no cap. It was like 2 or 3 people in there, like coming and going.
Wow.
But
wait, where did you go? What's county were you in?
I think Snellville.
Checks out.
Yeah, no, it was like way
Checks out.
Like
Got
we
you.
drove a minute.
Got you.
We drove an hour. It didn't touch a highway. Like it was very
checks out. Checks
it was
out.
very like where
That's why
are we
nobody was
going?
there.
But I actually enjoyed that experience without having anybody in there more than I think I would if it was full. Got to hear everything. Got to really enjoy the music. And I loved the movie. The movie, man, 3 hours. Beyonce, salute to you because it's a long ass movie. But the details in the movie I thought were amazing. I thought so much like breaking down the stage design, like how it's built every time, like how, because I didn't go to the tour, but how they actually use the stage design as a part of this tour is amazing to me. Like the different things that set does, it's borderline genius level design. Like it is ridiculous.
It's so versatile, dog.
I enjoyed it.
She had 3 screens, bro.
And she had 3 screens and the different what is the stuff in the background, because she had the letters like right above, and you could see how they were using the different lights.
Yes,
letters.
yes.
It was so much blue. I love blue in the movie a lot. Of course, I knew like Beyonce backstory, like that's Beyonce, but finding out like more about her roots and how it shaped kind of the sound for this album, where a lot of people were like, man, I can't believe Beyonce dropped an album like this. Like, no, this has always been here. Yes. Like, this has always been in Beyonce out, and it's been on older albums too. Like, but this time she just really leaned into it. And Beyonce fans, y'all gonna hate this. I'm sorry. I know, listen, before I even say it, y'all gonna roll your eyes, but y'all were the visual. She right. She cooked y'all. I'm sorry. That was my favorite part. That might have been my favorite part. Seeing the crowd at all the different shows. Why would she drop music videos? Like those were. That was enough. Way more entertaining than the music video.
That's enough.
Sorry. Listen, I'm sorry.
You're
but
right, dog.
I enjoyed seeing people just enjoy it. All the stuff there, and I thought it was amazing.
It's so the show was. I came here and said this when I got back from it. It's one of the. Probably the only concert. I think Drake might have been the closest to it, but probably the only concert I've been to where everybody was focused on what was going on. Yeah. Some concerts you go to, and it's a few people on their phone. It's a few people just don't really know what's going on. Right. A few people just more focused on their blunt, they drink.
Got tickets for $5. Just got here like.
Every single, from the moment that woman stepped on the stage, all eyes were on her, and you could see that through the energy, like through the movie when she was panning to the audience. Even the people she had focused on, you could see behind them, everybody behind them, focus, laser focus, same thing, singing along. So again, I've talked enough about Beyonce this year, so I'm gonna give it a break, but. Again, shout out to her, shout out to Blue, shout out to the Hope. Y'all just are amazing. Nothing short of amazing.
And listen, selfishly, I was messing with Charlene about this. My favorite parts of the movie was the parts with Hov.
Ain't that nigga so cool, bro?
I was just seeing Hov and I was like, yep, there you go. There's my goat, just in the background. He was just, like Beyonce would do some crazy shit. And then Hov just like, yeah, how'd you like it? Like, yeah, you had fun?
That was the first thing I said when I got out of it. I said, isn't it crazy? That's the greatest rapper ever. Like, that's the best rapper of all time. He right there, just hanging out.
Yo, the tour's over. She just did this world tour, the best tour of the modern life. He's like, how was it? Like, how you feel? Like, shut up, bro. Like they would just like casually pan over him.
Bro.
Like, he's not home. Like,
bro, that's the thing. Like we know who that is, bro. Stop acting like that's just a civilian, bro.
I forget what song it was because she did go in order with like showing the songs.
Yeah, she did. She took out a couple, and she took out the couple, and she took out all her covers. I was really sad you missed some of that stuff.
But I forget what song, what part of the movie it was. but they were panning the crowd, and then they like showed Jay-Z holding the kids, and then kept moving. I was like, "That's Jay-Z. That's Jay-Z." Like, why? Like, I know who that is. Like, he in the crowd like a regular person. Like, no, that's Hov.
You know that meme where they?
Yeah, hold on, wait. Like, no, I that was definitely my favorite part.
Yeah, he is
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10. I do think when she drops, seriously, I'm done after this. But she is dropping a live album. A live album is coming with this. She dropped a single with it. The anniversary of the subtitled Beyonce album was yesterday. She released one of the throwaway singles from it as well. And she's, like I said, she's releasing a live album. I do believe this is going to pop up on probably Amazon. I think she's been doing a lot of work with Amazon. So this probably will be on Amazon Prime. And I think that will be probably about 3 hours 15, 3.5 hours. Because I know her full show isn't in there. Like, she took a couple songs out of it. Rather Die Young got taken out. I think I Care, part of I Care got taken out. So it's a couple things that she left out that I know probably will get added.
She cooked that shit.
Cooked it. All right.
She's so nice. I love the Diana Ross part was so nice. Like,
bro, like,
you're Beyonce.
That,
like, you're Beyonce. First of all, like, you're Beyonce. She's like, oh my God, well, you're Beyonce. Though. Like, y'all both should be crying.
Yeah, facts, bro.
Yeah, she's like, I'm so like happy you came. Like, you're Beyonce. Of course she came.
Like, did you think I was gonna say no?
Yeah.
Like, how Megan reacted is how everybody, how Diana should have been reacting.
Yo, like, man, shout out Meg.
Hey, listen, brother. Hey, on to football. Before I get in trouble like Shannon Sharp, dog. He
said stretched out like 2:45.
Dog. He's 55. He meant that shit. He wasn't joking. He meant that shit.
Listen, for you younger,
he said that before.
For you younger fans,
that's in his phone to another woman right now.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna use that. I'm definitely gonna use that.
I'll stretch you out like 2:45, dog. That is crazy as hell. To the man's game, though. All right, should we start with the drama first or end with the drama?
I want to start with Cam.
All right,
we got to start with Cam because listen, I don't.
Yeah, you go ahead.
You know, we are in my mind. We're one of the biggest shows out right now. So like,
sure.
When I be seeing stuff hit the timeline, I'd be like, "That's for us to talk about." Like, I don't want y'all niggas talking about it. Like, I don't want you.
Oh God!
I don't want y'all non-Cam niggas talking about this. So I'm gonna give you
non-Cam niggas.
Yeah, like. Niggas, like, bro, we talk about Cam every month. Them niggas talk about Cam every years. Like, right? We are carrying this Cam torch. I'm just gonna let you rock. I'm just gonna.
All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys saw the clip if you have not seen the clip by now, which I feel like you have, Cam Newton called Brock Purdy, Tua, Jared Goff, and Dak game managers. Yep. He chose those quarterbacks because all of those quarterbacks are having really good years. Yep. And some of those quarterbacks have come up in conversations they don't belong in. Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott. I don't see Jared Goff in so many of those conversations, but Tua has been brought up in them as well. He does a show called 4th and 1. And he just kind of goes through the topics of the week pretty much based on the NFL. And it's like he's a former NFL quarterback. He has a lot of knowledge on the game. If you hear him I don't even watch the show in full, but the clips I see, like he's really breaking down shit, explaining why he feels ways. And it's like, oh, yeah, I forgot. Like, despite all of this, you a football genius.
Literally.
He says this, and I don't know why, because Cam has been doing talk show stuff for a year and a half, 2 years now.
Cam's been in communications for like 2 years now.
Bro, actually, since he was born on the Patriots, like he started it started small then, and it's grown into this. But so I don't know why now all of a sudden it blew up everywhere. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming because he said Dak's name, Dak Cowboy America's team. I'm assuming that's why.
Dak and Purdy, I think. Yeah.
However, everything he said was true. I don't know why when Cam Newton decides to say something, it is blown way out of proportion, but when Kurt Warner is on NFL Network talking, It's okay. When Tom Brady goes on the Stephen A. Smith show and says whatever he wants, it's cool. When Peyton and Eli on ESPN talking about the quarterbacks, it's okay. And Jeff Saturday on First Take, Ryan Clark on the Pivot, First Take. All of these former NFL players and NFL quarterbacks, Steve Smith. Steve Young is an analyst. All of these, Terry Bradshaw, all of these former NFL quarterbacks, analysts, coaches, all give their opinion every week and say outlandish things about these quarterbacks. Right. Derek Carr's brothers last week said Jalen Hurts should stop playing this season and he can't read a defense. Yeah. That's just not true.
Shout out David Carr, by the way. Super trash quarterback.
So what is confusing me is why are you giving him this backlash when what he said is true? Yeah. Cam Newton, of all people, is one of the biggest floor raisers we have ever seen. Easy. He went to a Super Bowl with Ted Ginn Jr. and Jericho Cotchery and Philly Brown as his 1, 2, and 3 receivers. Yep. Ron Rivera
in the Legion of Boom era in the NFC. Just throwing that out there.
15-1.
Yep.
15-1. With Ron Rivera and Mike Shula as his head coach and offensive coordinator, dog.
Yep.
Come on, dog.
Yeah.
He is a freak of nature. One of the biggest sports disappointments of my life is the fact that Cam Newton went to that organization. Yeah. Cam Newton on a competent organization goes down as one of the 10, 12 greatest quarterbacks ever. Easy.
Facts.
That brings me to Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a great game manager. Yep. That's not a negative term. It is not. That is just a way to describe quarterbacks. Since the beginning of sports talk, we have separated the elite 3 to 6 quarterbacks versus the rest of the field. Yep. It goes your elite quarterbacks, your really good game managers, your game managers that need everything to go perfect, and then the bottom of the pack. Dak is an above average, really good game manager. Really? So he doesn't need everything to go perfect, but he needs a lot of things to go perfect. He has not been to an NFC championship game. Yeah. He has not won more than one playoff game in a season. So, yes, he has won a lot of regular season football games, but he's been on a lot of good teams with a lot of good coaching staffs and a lot of good weapons. Cam had none of that. The only thing Cam ever had was a good defense, and that defense didn't have a bunch of talent on it. It had one of the 3 greatest linebackers ever on it.
Literally, it just had Luke Higgins.
And a good defensive line. Yeah. I want people to understand that Cam Newton – Emmanuel Aljo said this is pure facts. Cam Newton is one of the 20 greatest quarterbacks ever. Not NFL quarterbacks, just pure quarterbacks. Yeah. He is a national champion. He is a Heisman winner. He is an NFL MVP. He has been to a Super Bowl. He has a 15-win season under his belt. He has more touchdowns, more passing touchdowns than Troy Aikman, more rushing touchdowns than O.J. Simpson. He has more combined touchdowns. He has more rushing touchdowns. He is top 20 ever in rushing touchdowns. Which is ridiculous. So when you bring up his passing stats and just compare him with Dak blindly, with no recognition on the style of play that it was back then when he was playing, the style of offense that they run, that it was a run and shoot offense and they took a lot of deep shots, and that has to do with his percentage dropping. And as soon as Norv Turner came over there and implemented a system where we were going to look at checkdowns more, we were going to go more intermediate, middle of the field, which we know you can work, his percentage jumped from 60 to 69 in the season. That's not because he just worked out harder that season. It's because of the offensive philosophy that was going on. Yeah. It's simple as that. Dak is a game manager. Brock Purdy is a game manager. Tua is a game manager. And Jared Goff is a game manager. All 4 of them are above average game managers. But none of them are elite quarterbacks. If you put Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, and Joe Burrow or Jalen Hurts on the Dallas Cowboys, they're going to the Super Bowl. Right. If you put them on the San Francisco 49ers, there's not a question. We're talking about next year. Yeah. If Patrick Mahomes is on the 49ers, we're talking about next year. Like, who's competing next year? Because we know who's winning this year. Same thing with Lamar Jackson. So what he said was true. I know he's a polarizing figure, so we're going to make this dramatic and make it, oh my God, Cam said it. But the only reason you're talking about it is because of how great, how electrifying, and how polarizing he was. But he's right.
I'm glad you said that. So so just to hit a couple things, I want to piggyback off what you said at the end there, before I get specifically into Cam. But the Brock Purdy, the Tua, the Dak, the Detroit Lions thing, where I push back, and I have this argument with so many different people because everybody knows I love football, so I'm arguing with everybody all day. But me and this guy in my Madden chat, we got to a real argument about how good Brock Purdy is. And what ended the argument was, I said if Brock Purdy was really an MVP candidate, this would be the best team in NFL history. And I defy you to tell me a better team in NFL history with a all-pro, maybe MVP running back, all-pro wide receiver, all-pro tight end, all-pro lineman, and the best defense in the league. What team on paper would be better than that if they had an MVP quarterback? And you can't do it because they don't, which is fine. But the problem is with just quarterbacks in general, and I think it's because the scarcity of them. We always talk about it's only 15 good quarterbacks on earth, but quarterback is the only position damn near in all sports where you can't just be a good guy. Like, you can't just be like if I was a DB, they'd be like, yeah, he's a good DB, man. Or he's a good wide receiver. He's just a possession wide receiver. Like, or, basketball, he's a good shooter. Or he's a good PG, good center. In the NFL, you are either you should not be in the NFL. You are not a starter. You are trash. I hate you. Or it might be MVP candidate, man. I don't know. They won 4 in a row. Like, and unfortunately, I'm going to say 70% of it is Brady's fault. I'm going to say 75% is Brady's fault, where we've kind of warped the way we think about quarterbacks in a way that doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Like, I heard earlier people like trying to disparage Mahomes' career so far as it's compared to other quarterbacks. Like, getting to a Super Bowl was like, hey, man, you might make it to the Hall for real.
That's why people talk about that Cam run so much. It's because, like, you got to a Super Bowl. Like, you know how many Phillip Rivers never touched the Super Bowl.
Aaron Rodgers and Cam Newton have went to the same amount of Super Bowls, and Cam Newton went to one more recent. Let that really lock into y'all. Cam Newton played quarterback in a Super Bowl more recently than Aaron Rodgers. That's how hard it is to get there. It is not something that's like, man, he only won 3 bowls. It's not like the NBA where the best player can impose his will so much that you're expected to win every time. Like, Brady was such an outlier with that the last 10 years, like, that's really all we saw. Mm-hmm. Like, we expected it to always be like that, and it's not like that. And just to transition to what I want to talk about, Cam, is like, if anybody has the right to call someone a game manager, system QB, mid, whatever word he want to use, it's Cam Newton. Because no matter what you think, Cam Newton is one of the 5 best QBs you've ever watched. And I defy you to find me 5 better than the Cam Newton I watched that year. Peak performance-wise, he is on the short list of NFL players. And if anybody would have the right to call someone a game manager, it's Cam Newton. Who, no matter, listen, you can say whatever you want about his completion percentage, about his, yards per pass, EPA. Cam was never a game manager. And you could never call him that. What's so frustrating about the Cam dialogue is, I asked this dude this. I said, would you be mad if Andrew Luck said that? Would you be mad if someone who hasn't accomplished nearly enough as Cam has played about the same amount of time?
Less, I think. A year less.
Less. Came out and said that. No, you would not. It's because who Cam is. And unfortunately, Cam is right. And I think
it's not unfortunate.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong
it's
with
really,
it.
You're right. It's not even
Duh.
It's not even like he said, y'all mid. Like, I'm calling y'all mid. He said, man, y'all are great managers, great guys, system QBs. And that's okay, bro. Everybody don't gotta be Brady. Everybody don't gotta be Mahomes.
If we wanna be honest, yo, it's maybe 12 quarterbacks in the history of football you really looking at as like elite upper echelon. 12 to like 18. Literally. Like somewhere in, it's not 20. You're not getting to 20 elite quarterbacks. I'm talking about in NFL history since the merger. We're not dropping when it was black. No,
no autogram.
Since the merger, you got Dan Marino, Elway, Brady, Joe Montana, Steve Young, Donovan McNabb, Cam, Peyton, Drew Brees.
Once you get past number 7 or 8 on that list, it gets dicey. You get past 7 or 8, you're like Randall Cunningham, Big Ben. I mean, kinda like this guy had one, couple
we're talking about Drew Brees, one Super Bowl. Aaron Rodgers, one Super Bowl. Cam Newton, one Super Bowl appearance. Andrew Luck never made it to Super Bowl. We just knew the talent he had. Like
Drew Brees, never won an MVP.
Never won an MVP. Like these are the quarterbacks we're talking about are elite, and y'all are talking about him like y'all are saying he can't say he's a game manager, like because you at home,
right?
Dog, everybody know why Cam Newton at home. Yeah, like everybody knows why Cam Newton is at home.
Literally.
Tim Boyle started the game this year. Everybody knows why Cam Newton is at home. Tommy DeVito is a starting quarterback right now.
Come on, man. Like Aiden O'Connell.
Y'all tell me the starting quarterbacks of the game tonight with Oakland and the Chargers. Ethan Stick. Who is that?
Yeah, shout out Ethan.
Somebody tell me who that is. Yeah. Besides anybody that's related to him.
Like unless you're at the game, like come on.
So we know why Cam is in the league.
Kick open your door right now. You'd have no clue who he is. Like, oh my God, I'm getting robbed. Like I can't stand that. Like,
Ethan Stick gonna do a toy giveaway at the hospital. They're gonna be like, can you please leave?
Yeah, like can you put those down, sir?
Can you please get out of here, actually?
Oh, I almost forgot. And I saw this a bunch. Don't y'all ever compare Dak Prescott to Cam Newton again in your life. And this is my bottom. This is what I'm going to close it with. For Dak's entire career, everyone in the world who watches football goes, I just don't know if he's the guy. You franchise tagged him because your owner didn't think he was the guy. So you can't franchise tag him no more. Everybody's like, man, Dak, hell of a guy. Just not the guy to get you over the hump.
At the beginning of the season, they were saying this may be Dak's last year in Dallas. Last year, people were saying, yo, Cooper Rush should be starting over you right now.
Literally. But Cam saying, yeah, he's just a good dude for real. Like, he's not a game changer. Nobody bats. Like, that is not a hot take. That's what's so frustrating.
It's not.
It's not something that Cam thought about. Like, it's not like Cam was at home. Like, you know what?
He probably said that and was like, there's no way people even notice I said that shit. Like, it's such common knowledge that Dak is a Brock Purdy too. They're game managers, bro. And I simply just do not understand for y'all want to compare stats, if Cam Newton walked into the Cowboys situation, the Cowboys would have had a Super Bowl now. If they wouldn't have one, they would have been to a Super Bowl now.
I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot for real. And I don't even want to say winning wise, like Cam would go 15-1. Cam in this NFL, where he dominated the NFL in a way where everybody was like, no, you can't do that. And now you literally have to play like Cam to be a starting quarterback in the NFL. You literally have to play like that.
To be an elite starting, there is one standstill elite quarterback, and that's Joe Burrow. And he might be the second most accurate quarterback I've ever seen in my life.
And he's been hurt 4 times.
Thank you. In the pocket.
And he's been hurt 4 times.
In the pocket.
Like,
thank you.
That's what's so frustrating is Cam's impact of the NFL, you can literally cut your TV on at any time and watch it. Where there's no QB standing still. Every QB is a part of the run game. Every QB is asked to play this way at least a little bit. So I'm a huge Caleb Williams guy. Cam go first in the draft over Caleb Williams. That's all you got to know. Cam right now, rookie Cam in the draft goes one over Caleb Williams because we've never seen anything like him. Probably won't again. That's probably the worst part. That's the saddest part.
Never.
We'll never see anyone like Cam again in this style in NFL where he used to be like, man, he's big. He'd be the biggest guy on every field he stepped on. He'd be the biggest person on every single field he stepped on today.
Bro, them pictures of 2015 Cam look ridiculous. He looks ridiculous.
And that's back when linebackers used to be regular sized.
Now they corners.
Now they 6 foot.
And now corners are basketball players.
They said, yeah, he used to be a corner. He put on weight to be a linebacker. I was like, okay, so he's not a linebacker. That's not how that works. Like, you were a corner in college? Okay. And now you're a linebacker in the league? All right. As soon as they said that, they ran a sweep his way, too. Cooked him. Like, that is not the NFL Cam played in. So, listen, this is probably the longest Cam segment anyone's going to do because this is what we do. But I just had to make sure y'all knew.
To the current NFL.
Yes.
We started with AFC last week. We'll do NFC first now. NFC, top 3 NFC teams, 10-3. San Francisco, Eagles, Dallas Cowboys. My question to you right now is one, who do you think gets the number 1 seed between those 3 teams?
Right.
And 2, who do you think is in best position to come out of the NFC?
I'm going to definitely say.
Do you want to hear their schedules first?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to definitely say the 49ers.
Okay.
I'm going to say the 49ers simply because they're the 1 seed now for the tiebreakers. But I think come playoff time, they are the team in the NFC that I think is the most complete as they are right now. Okay. I think Philadelphia has serious questions about their secondary, about their tackling, which is very terrifying in the NFC because you're going to have to play 49ers in one of those teams. And Dallas, I just, I don't believe. I don't believe. Like, I don't believe Dak Prescott will play 3 elite playoff games back to back to get you to the Super Bowl. And not just to say I don't think Dak's good enough, but the roster, the 49ers are just so much better than the rest of these teams. Like, it wouldn't be good enough for Dak to play well. Dak would have to play his best game with no mistakes and then hope his defense played just as good. I don't think that's the case for the 49ers where, Brock Purdy playing well, it's definitely like we would like it, but they don't have to win that way. They could absolutely win the game 24-17 running the ball, playing on their defense. Philadelphia, I think even with a worse secondary, I think they have more advantage than Dallas as well with Jalen Hurts and that offensive line where we don't need like okay, Jalen Hurts is struggling right now. We don't need 350 out of Jalen Hurts. We can just run the ball, pound you over the top, let our pass rush get to you, and then you look up, it's the fourth quarter, we're up 3 with the ball, and you won't see it for 8 more minutes. So I think 49ers, Gap, Eagles, and then Cowboys are just, we're happy to be here.
All right. So the first thing I asked was, who do I think will keep the number 1 seed? Yeah. I think the Eagles will end up with the number 1 seed, and here's the reason why. Their last 4 games are Seahawks on Monday Night Football. They will win that game. The Giants, they're going to beat. Cardinals are going to beat. Then they're going to beat the Giants again.
Yep.
San Francisco has to play Baltimore on Christmas.
That's going to be so good. That's going to be so gas.
Because Lamar going to win it with Lamar. We already get Lamar on Sunday Night Football against Jacksonville this week.
I can't wait, dog.
Seriously. We get them on Sunday night, Jacksonville for the warm-up. Next week, Sunday night on Christmas. Man, yeah, they're going to beat the dog shit out of Jacksonville. They not going to come. They're not playing with them dogs. Because of that, though, I do think the Ravens are going to shock the world. Lamar is going to be 21 against NFC teams, and they're going to beat them, and that's why they're not getting the number 1 seed. But my answer to the second question, which was, who do I think is most likely to come out of the NFC? That is San Francisco. Okay. And that is because of exactly what Ish just said, which is I think they are the most complete team. Nice. The Eagles secondary terrifies me. The reason it terrifies me, besides the poor tackling, is because for 2 years I haven't seen the Eagles get out of their base defense. Yeah. They won't get out of that too high safety. Nope. And you can't beat the 49ers playing that way, especially when your linebackers are not all pro. If you had Fred Warner and Greenlaw or Patrick Queen and Roquan right there, all right, maybe we cool. Yeah. But you don't got nowhere close to that shit. Nope. So, because of that, I am going to say I don't think they're going to be able to stop San Francisco. Right. I think, again, I do think they will have that number 1 seed. So I think if Dallas does end up having to come to them in the second round, they will beat Dallas. I feel strongly about that too.
Yeah.
I feel if the game was in Dallas, the Eagles would still win. I still feel strongly. I just wouldn't feel as strongly.
Yeah.
But in Philly, there's no way they're going to Philly and beating Philly. So that means I think the NFC Championship will beat the San Francisco in Philly.
Yep.
And I still think I'll put it this way. I will have to see a drastic difference in the next 4 weeks in their defense and in the second round playoff game for me to have come into that NFC Championship thinking they're going to win it. I do think the offense is going to get on track. I'm not totally worried about the offense. You got one of the 5 best receivers, one of the probably the first best second option receiver.
Facts.
And I will say this, though. The one tweak I want to see in their offense is I want Devontae to get the ball earlier.
Yeah.
I want you guys to stop running these 17-yard digs, 12-yard digs, 12-yard out, deep route, crosser. Stop running these deep routes. He is an excellent deep ball catcher.
Yep.
But he is good enough to get the ball in open space and make stuff happen. And that's how he was used at Alabama.
Facts.
He ran a lot of motion. He was in the slot a lot, which they're starting to implement. Yeah. But I think he should be used on a couple of jet sweeps a game. Yeah. I think you should see him doing the orbit motion, having tosses to him in the backfield, or at least faking him because he is such a decoy and running something out of that. I just don't think they're using Devontae or AJ for that matter the way they could be. I think they use AJ better than they use Devontae, but both of them could be used a little bit better to make the offense better and to open up the run game. Because if you have Devontae running through or AJ running through faking the jet sweep, that's going to hold some eyes, which is going to get your running back an extra 2-yard head start.
Facts.
Where I want to go next, though, is this hype around Dallas.
Right.
Because the Dallas has played the third easiest schedule in the NFL this year.
Yeah.
But like a good team does, they handled their business in every game.
Smashing them.
Smashing. The only game you look at and you're worried about them is that San Francisco game. But that happened 2 months ago, and every team has a dud in the year. Every single team. The
49ers lost 3 games after that. They lost 3 straight after that.
Niggas was looking like, yo, shit, is it time?
Yeah.
Is it time to get rid of Brock?
Facts.
Which wouldn't have okay.
Yeah. Wouldn't happen to the superstar.
Just saying. So we already went over what we think would happen in the outcome in the playoffs, but I want to ask more so in detail, why do you not have faith in the Cowboys?
I don't have faith in the Cowboys, and I don't want this to sound disrespectful, but they are not good enough. I think CeeDee Lamb's an amazing receiver. I don't think he's good enough to be your only receiver. I think still Stephon Gilmore right now, still an amazing corner. One of my top 5 corners ever. Former Patriot, Super Bowl champion, defense player. Love him. He spent had a crazy game on AJ Brown.
Crazy.
But I don't think he can be your best corner every single game. I think Dak is an amazing quarterback, but he can't be your best player. I think that is what's going to cost them is as you move forward throughout every level you go like in the playoffs, and people do this. Shout out Cowherd. Cowherd does this. Is all right, who's going to be the best player on the field? And when you look at the San Francisco 49ers versus the Dallas Cowboys, how many names do you got to rattle off before you get to a Cowboy after Micah? Even with Micah, you probably get 2-3 names off before you get to him. After Micah, you're going to get 6 or 7 Niners before you get to the nearest Cowboy. Like, they have to, and that's what's so concerning about Dallas is they have 3 or 4 players that are really good, but they have to play great every single Sunday, or they don't have a chance, really.
Right.
And I think that's what concerns me is like, CeeDee Lamb's an amazing wide receiver, but can I say, like we did to Cooper Kupp that playoff run, or like how Julian Edelman did in the Super Bowl, or how Jamar Chase did his first year, can I say, hey, CD, third down for the rest of the game?
It's coming in.
For the rest of the game, it's going to 88, no matter where you are. And
maybe in them Kobe cleats he had on.
Them
bitches was cold, dog.
Shout out CeeDee Lamb. But I think their ceiling is just so lower than the other teams that they'll be playing.
I like that. I agree. So what you're saying is even at their best, it's still just not good enough if the Eagles are at their best.
What they feel like, and just to compare it to another sport, they feel like the Utah Jazz. from a couple years ago. It's like, man, Donovan Mitchell's really good. And they're going to play really hard. Early regular season, we're locked in. But every playoff series, it's like, all right, this week it's Jalen Hurts. Next week, it'll be the 49ers. And if we beat both of them, it's Lamar Jackson. Like, every week it's like, damn, that's a superstar quarterback.
I want to bring this to the Eagles for 6 weeks went Kansas City, Buffalo, San Francisco, Dallas, and Monday they're going Seattle. All very, very good playoff level football teams. 4-2 through that stretch. I'm assuming they beat Seattle on Monday. You go 4-2 through that stretch. Every NFL franchise is happy with 4-2 through that stretch. No matter who the two teams you lost to are. I know it's an issue they lost to their two biggest competitors in the NFC. I know that's a slight issue, but at the end of the day, they're going to see him again. It's film. And Dallas has not went through that. Dallas has not had a tough 4 or 5 game stretch where you're playing consistent competition. And I think that matters. Right now is their toughest part of the schedule. They go Buffalo, Dolphins, and what was the last team? Buffalo, Dolphins, and
I'm forgetting.
Detroit. Buffalo, Dolphins, and Detroit, and then they close the year out at Washington, which they'll win. So they have 3 very, very tough games coming up. I think this is a test for the Cowboys, a strong test. If they go 4-0 to close out the year and get that number 1 seed, I'm coming in here come playoff time having a different conversation about them. But right now, today, from what I've seen from the past with the Cowboys, from who I think Dak and Mike McCarthy actually are in their core, despite the winning streak and how great they look, what I think they will revert to is the above average team that they are that's just not good enough to beat the upper echelon in the NFL. And I will close that in saying I think Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs are upper echelon players. I don't think the Bills are an upper echelon team. I don't think the Dolphins are an upper echelon team, and I do not think Detroit is an upper echelon team. So I do expect you, if you want me to put you in the upper echelon category, I expect you to go beat these teams. All 3 of them back to back, because I've watched the Eagles beat 3 great teams back to back. I've watched the Kansas City beat 3 teams back to back. I've watched Baltimore beat 3 great teams back to back. So the 3 teams I'm really high on, Philly, San Francisco, Kansas City, and Baltimore, those 4 teams, I've seen them all do this. So it worries me that Dallas hasn't, but they can clean up my worries by the time they're going into Washington if they take care of business.
Listen, I love your point, and we picked both the games on here, and I picked both of them for Philadelphia to lose. But the reason I was so confident in that is because, man, it's really hard to win. It's really hard to win, and especially in the NFL, because it's only 17 games, it's so easy for it to feel like every week, like. And because in the NFL, it's so hard to win, it's very easy for us to go week by week like, oh, my God, the sky is falling. It's over for Jalen. Like, it's so easy for us to get caught week by week. But I try to take it, I don't want to say, like, macro, but in segments. Like, if you were the coach of the Eagles and you had these 6 games, I would go into it like, man, 4-2, 5-1. That's what I want.
Especially going into it 7-1 or whatever they were, 6-1. Yeah,
we're 7-1. These are the best teams in the league, both conferences. Best players in the league, both conferences. We are not going to go 19-0 all the way to the Super Bowl. And the Eagles are a great team. They're not a perfect team.
No.
So them going 4-2 for me, it's like, oh yeah, this is pretty good. This is exactly how I thought they would play. But the difference is they're still the Eagles. Like for them, these are 6 hard weeks because they are playing good teams. When they play other teams, every week feel like that.
Yes.
Every week feel like that.
Yes.
The Eagles. So I would be, if I'm the Eagles, I'm cool. I'm, not too high, not too low, still focused on closing out the regular season. Sure. But if I'm Nick Sirianni, we get to the end of the regular season, whether we're the first seed or not, I would sit down with my team and be like, the 4 games we played would be harder than getting to and winning the Super Bowl right now. That 6-game stretch is going to be harder than every Super Bowl playoff path. and we came out 4-2.
Thank you.
That definitely something you can hang your hat on. They'll be super fun.
Facts. To the NFC. I want to start with Josh Allen, man.
Yeah. Salute.
Salute. First off, salute, dog. Yeah. You have been balling, and that's exactly what I wanted to see from him. I wanted to see it from Stephon. I wanted to see if Sean McDermott could rally the guys. Turns out he doesn't in a way.
I almost forgot about that.
Turns out he does it in a way that might surprise you.
It's over for him. It's so over, bruh. It's so over, dog.
Bro, that's some of the funniest shit I have read in my life. I'm not repeating what I read in that article because I don't want to get demonetized. So if you guys want to figure out what Sean McDermott said, just go look it up. Bro.
Once this show gets bigger, I know I'm gonna have to start tweeting differently than I do now. I do recommend y'all follow us on Twitter because I forget what I was doing, but I be having first things first and just sports shows in the background while I'm working, and I heard somebody talking about. I said, he said what? He said what? Yo, shout out Sean McDermott.
Shout out Sean McDermott, man.
Listen,
there is no example you cannot use for motivation. You feel me? Doug said, how do y'all think they work together to get their job done, bro? What the fuck is wrong with you, my
Sean
man?
Sean McDermott probably thinks SEAL Team 6 is a fucking sad movie. He probably think it's a horror movie. They got it. No, shout out Sean McDermott, but definitely, all right. Whew. Shout out Josh Allen for keeping, clear head in the sky. Okay, bro. I can't.
Bro, I promise, if you go read this report, you'll understand.
Yo. We will not repeat what Sean McDermott said.
I want to so bad, bro.
But
okay, I'm good.
All right, I forgot what we were. Oh, Josh Allen. Listen, back against the wall has played amazing, as we thought he would. You got your OC fired. If it's a time to get
shout out Joe Brady.
Shout out Joe Brady.
Maybe they did the right thing, huh?
Hey, if it's a time to get back in the bag, it's definitely this. Of course, the game ended, super weird way. Yeah, but they don't ask how; they ask how many.
Come on,
and
now.
That's a dub.
Come
and
on,
y'all
now.
need nothing but dubs the rest of the year.
Come on now,
because man, Josh, I'm a little sorry, bro. That team's a lot worse than we think it is. And whether it's injuries on the back end, shout out Matt Milano still, shout out Trey White still. What's left of Von Miller still out there, but man, that's not a good team.
No,
that's not a good football team.
No. But you know why they're competitive?
Josh Allen.
Because he's not a game man.
That's a fact. That's what's so funny about Josh Allen. Josh Allen is so anti-game manager. He can't even do it if niggas asked him. It's almost like he's thriving in this.
Yeah, okay, back against the wall. Yeah, fuck it, let's go.
Let's go.
I get to go out here, no expectations. Yep. Everybody expects us to miss the playoff. I get to I think that kind of helps. I mean, you bro, damn near we lose and we out. Fuck it, I'm finna just go out here and give it everything I got. So, and that's how it looks, man. Yeah. He's not turning the ball over. Mm-hmm. In the red zone, he's been amazing.
Yep.
He's been accurate and he has made plays with his legs. Yep. Everything you need him to do, he has been doing. It's simple as that. Gabe Davis, I don't know if it's Josh, don't know if it's the offensive coordinator, don't know if it's Gabe. Something needs to work around that because they're not going to be able to go deep in the playoffs without him. Yeah. I do think it might be time to get him out of there, get another number 2 to work with Stephon, all of that. Mike Evans, hello.
Yeah. No, Gabe Davis, I will say this. I've seen some stuff on tape from Gabe Davis that makes me like, hey, listen, listen, thank God you didn't play with 12. Thank God you didn't play with 12. Because that shit was the flu. Yeah. Quitting on routes, man.
Yeah.
They have not, I will say this, because we try to be as honest as possible with quarterbacks. So when Josh Allen he do the Josh Allen stuff, we kill him. And on the other side, we do defend him, and this will be one of those cases where this situation is not set up for an elite team.
No.
It's not.
No, it's as simple as that. If they get in the playoffs, it will be because of a heroic effort from Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs. It is simple as that because that defense is done on the back. Like you said, the Matt Milano, losing one of the 5-6 best linebackers in football, also losing one of the 7-8 best corners in football on your defense, and then your $140 million defensive end is half of himself right now. Obviously, trying to battle through it. I follow a guy on
Twitter that every day he says Von Miller is the worst player in the NFL. Like, he be having stats like, yo, Von Miller's played 8 games, hasn't recorded a tackle. Like, what?
What?
No, yeah, it's some crazy stats. Oh. It's like Von Miller's went like 6 games without making contact with like a ball carrier. Like, Von Miller, one of the best players ever, first ballot Hall of Famer, easy, one of the best pass rushers, easy. This will be one of the Michael Wizards years. Kobe.
Hey, 140. Yeah. Shit, I'll take 140. Shit, I'll take.
Yo,
shit.
No, because it's crazy. I remember when he signed it. We say they gave him what?
For Von Miller?
Yeah.
What year is it? But that does bring us to Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yep.
We'll start off where we know we should start off. Did Patrick Mahomes embarrass himself?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say I don't want to say embarrassed, but I hate to lose. You're a competitor. I've known you for a long time. You hate to lose.
I've thrown many basketballs across the court.
And for people who have not played competitive sports at a super high level, I mean, I haven't played somewhat high, but there's a difference, and you see it, and you can see it in the NFL, NBA. You can see it with your friends. There's a difference between the people who like to win and hate to lose, and there is a difference. It's not enough to, hey, we play good. I'm Patrick Mahomes. Like, the losing hurts. And I can understand in that moment spazzing the way he did. It's been, he took a couple on the chin. He's like, okay, it shouldn't have been a flag on the post that was wide open. Right. I've been the good company guy. Niggas been dropping passes. Like, I have gone up here and said the right thing 5 or 6 times. But in this circumstance, I definitely do get it for a couple reasons. First, it's so funny. It is so funny. Because I've never seen that. That might be the cover for this episode.
Never in my life seen it.
I've never seen a wide receiver that far off the ball in my life.
Never in my life.
They're like, he should have warned him. Nigga, if he would have looked to his right, him and Von Miller shoulder to shoulder. What do you mean he needed a warning? And the referee, that's why I wasn't like, I didn't feel bad after their reaction because the referee was like, I couldn't even see the ball. What you mean? I can't even see the ball. Like, you are so far off sides. Like, you not getting that warning. I'm sorry. You are a foot across the ball. You're looking back at Mahomes. You have to look. Like, bro, I get it. Because, shameless plug, Tom made it look a little easier than it was. And they're trying to follow that blueprint now. And it's a lot harder than people thought it was, not having skill position players that are great. It's a lot hard. It's so much more on your shoulders. And that's what Tom talks about. And I think that's what Mahomes is going to start to realize this year, more so than any other year, that he needs to not elevate players just with his talent.
Right.
He needs to teach them the game the way he knows it.
Right.
Because that is what changed for Brady mid-2000s that he went from, okay, this is a great player, this is the MVP.
Right.
Where every single play, he was going to put everybody in the right spot.
Right.
Every single play, he was going to make sure everybody knew their assignment. And that is something, and I think that's what made him so upset, is it's on him too. And I haven't heard that anywhere. I know it's Patrick Mahomes. I'm one of the biggest Patrick Mahomes fans in the league. But, Pat, you got to wear some of that too, dog.
The reason he is right is because throughout the year we have seen so many route miscommunications, and that doesn't happen if in the off season, during the season. Like you said, you're teaching them what you know. So if the corner's looking this way on this play, you're going this way. If this is happening, you're going. And of course they've discussed it. Of course, if they're running the play, they're discussed it. But have you discussed it time and time again? Have you drilled it time and time again, or did you go over it a couple times and just expect them to remember it? after you see that they're not capable of doing that. So, yes, Mahomes does have to wear some of that. I will say Mahomes did embarrass himself in that press conference. I don't think the on-field antics were a problem because you're in the heat of the battle, and I do think that's extremely frustrating, especially last year. Last week. You know what happened last week? That was a clear pass interference, would have won the game if you would have called that. So you're frustrated about that. Your receivers are dropping passes. The dude was at that point. I don't know if he notices how offsides Tony is. I think probably once he saw that, he was like, "God damn." So,
that's why I didn't. That's why I cut him some slack, because even if he knew he was outside, there's no way Mahomes knew he was that offside.
Because that shit looks ridiculous. Yeah. But where I understand the frustration. That's why I'm not saying he's stupid. He shouldn't have done that. I'm killed. It's just it look a little embarrassing. You look kind of like a sore loser, bro. For sure. Like it's 100%. Been my nigga. You won a Super Bowl off a holding call, bro. Off of a ball that we not sure was catchable. Yeah. Like it was juju. It's not like that with Odell. It's somebody over there with that deserter call. So
that's true. Yeah.
You kind of look like a sore loser in that aspect, but I do feel him because of everything that has come with this year. Yeah. And at this point, they lose this week and the Broncos win. They tied for first. Yeah. And on top of that, you trying to get the number 1 seed. The number 1 seed is still on the line for them. All you can need Baltimore to do is lose 2 games, and you bite right back in the number 1 seed conversation. Yeah. So I think it was a lot of built up frustration in that. But somebody needs to calm him down before he goes in that press conference and speaks like that. Yeah. That's the only thing I'll say about that. Lastly, in closing, I do want to say they do have a point, though.
No, they do.
They do have a point.
Did you see how many? Did you see the thing?
He lined up off sides like 6 or 7 times that game. Yeah. You get a warning then. Right. Then you deserve a warning. Right. And to anybody else's point that's not a Kansas City Chiefs fan, they were not arguing that in the press conferences. Right. But I know Monday morning, them film guys and stats guys came in and showed them that film, and they sent that shit straight to the league office. Like, look, you get a warning. You get a warning. 19 keep lining up outside. 19 keeps lining. Now, if they would have told him 3 times and he just did it again, like, just cut him. Right. But he been doing it all game. He not really thinking about it. You ain't said nothing to him all game. I do get the frustration, but again, like, you in the NFL, my nigga. That's grade A elementary football.
I definitely agree. I saw a stat. It's been 25,000 snaps Andy Reid has been a head coach. This is the first time that's ever happened. Hey, listen. No matter what side you fall on, 25,000 to 1, you definitely got an argument. You definitely got an
argument, bro.
Yeah. But, man, I thought it was – and, dude, shout out Kadarius Toney, man. God, you just can't – Kadarius Toney's just that guy at work, man. He just can't
catch a break, man.
Can't catch a break.
Salute to Travis, though. Crazy play. Yeah. Crazy play. He is special. He's very cerebral. To be able to stop on a dime, realize who is where, and throw that pass accurately.
I'd have did that shit again. Listen, for all my Madden players, hurry up, flip. I'd have did the same shit other side of the field. See, listen, niggas ain't stopping once.
Right.
Fuck it.
Right. In conclusion with football, I do want to touch on the Ravens and Dolphins. Yeah. Dolphins very quickly. Does the loss to Tennessee worry you?
No, because Tyreek wasn't out there. Anything that happens without Tyreek.
Thank you.
It's not what they be saying. It's not canon.
Because he's the MVP.
Literally. And they're like, man, it's Tua worse than we thought. No, he's exactly the quarterback we thought he was. He's nothing changed. He's the same guy.
If anybody lost Tyreek Hill, they would look a little bit worse.
Literally.
I promise you, Tyreek Hill makes the game a lot easier for everybody.
Especially in Miami. Like,
not even just him catching the ball. Him being on the field makes a difference.
Literally. So, no. But Agreed. Baltimore.
Hey, bro. Listen, I saw the win I needed to.
Odell, we're back.
I saw the win I needed to.
We're so back. Isaiah Likely stretching the ball down the field. You mentioned he was more athletic, much more of a vertical threat. Mm-hmm. That came to fruition. I think they're here.
Baltimore's here. Yeah. Last week was the win I needed to see. And what I mean by that is you want your football team, if you're rooting for a football team, and say your football team right now is 8-6 or 8-7, and every game they've won is been because they ran the ball great. Yeah. But when it was time for them to pass, that's where their 6 losses came from. You don't want a one-dimensional or two-dimensional football team. You want a team that can win in a multitude of ways. Right. The Baltimore have shown me that when they play a full 4 quarters of football, they dominate opponents. Seattle Lions. They have also shown me that they can take a lead and control the lead. That's been every win this season except until this last one. What I needed to see them be in was in a pressured situation where Lamar had to work with these new receivers and get down the field and score a touchdown. Not a field goal because you got a kicker that can kick a 60-yard field goal. Right. I need you to go score a touchdown so I see the offense. I see how Todd Monken is going to call it.
Right.
And that is exactly what I got. Matt Stafford goes down and incredible game. Him, Puka and Cooper were balling. Yeah. Goes down, scores a touchdown to take the lead. I think Lamar had about a little over 2 minutes ago, I want to say.
Right.
And surgical.
Yeah.
It was surgical.
Light work, no panic.
You didn't see his mechanics get shoddy. Yep. You didn't see him take off run early. He went happy feet. Bro, you get you get a penalty on 3rd down. It's 3rd and 17.
Yeah, that kills a lot of drives. That's it.
That kills the drive. That kills the drive, the momentum. Listen, the game is
game
over.
Manager. Listen, you get a 3rd and 17 with Dak back there. The organization is. But they are in that press box pissing themselves. Like
Lamar drops back, 1 read, Zay Flowers right across the middle, a dot to him. Yep. Tie ball game, goes for 2. The 2-point conversion looks very simple, disgusting. Yep. A hop, step, jump pass. The fuck is dude on, bro?
That's probably the next step. Like don't piss me off. Like don't piss me off because they were doing that earlier in the year where like. The read option, kind of, I'm a hand like, don't piss me off.
Man.
Like, I'm a read option, fake it, and then throw a pass. Like, all right. Okay.
You think Jalen Hurts doing that annoying? Wait till boy that run a 4.4 do it.
Like, yo, I'm telling you, bro.
Man.
Don't piss me off.
What I do want to continue on is the point you hit. Yeah. Odell, Isaiah Likely, Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman. Yeah. They're coming to form. Yeah. Odell looks like a veteran number 1 receiver now. Odell was hurt, and I told you guys the second week he came back. All right, he looks a little better.
Yeah,
he looks so much better than he did when he first came back from injury. He's getting out of his breaks. He's getting separation. He is catching everything that comes his way. The deep ball was beautiful ball tracking skills, beautiful hands. Yeah. The one on 3rd down on the drive to win the game. I mean, to tie the game. Was that the overtime drive? It didn't matter. One of those drives on the 3rd down, he adjusted to the ball real well. Because he ran the wrong route. It was, you just see the progression in him. And I think the more and more healthy he gets, the more and more you'll see him start to get touches. I also love what they're doing with Zay Flowers. They're using him. I always said the Eagles should use Devontae Smith. He's a gadget. They use him deep. They use him intermediate. But they also give him the ball on jet sweeps, little short, what do they call them? Tunnel screens. Bubbles, all of that. Because he is a playmaker. He is excellent in open space. And one man is not tackling him.
Facts.
And then on top of that, they're the best rushing team in football. Didn't even mention that.
That's what's so crazy about the Ravens is, in hindsight, the people like, why are we firing the coordinator there? Da da da. It's because no matter what it wasn't like the coordinator said, man, that Lamar Jackson guy, he can really run. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like he came in like, what we should do? We should let 8 run. No, he's been doing that his whole life. It don't matter who's calling the plays. He's going to be an amazing runner, and that threat is going to permeate through your run game just in general.
Yes.
That's why I love changing the system so much, is because you are never going to take away from Lamar's running, because he don't even need plays to be called.
No.
But the threat of it, oh my God, I'm blanking on their running back's name right now.
Gus Edwards.
No, the fast one.
Keaton Mitchell.
Listen, that boy, that's a scary guy. That's a scary guy on the Ravens, because I don't think in Lamar's time he's been. Wow, that's crazy. No, I was literally just thinking, but I mean, Lamar's been the fastest or second fastest person on the team since he's got there. Think about that. Other than Marquise Brown, who can't catch or run routes, but skill position wise or just on the team, he's been the fastest player.
Facts.
Now, when they do that read option, it's 2 highways. And if you guess wrong, which I'm playing Lamar Jackson, he put the ball out there, I might think he keeping it too. The difference is Gus Edwards, like, man, I like him intermediate, catches the ball, really secure in between the tackles. He handed off to Gus Edwards, you guess wrong, damn, first down. Keaton Mitchell hitting his head on the goalpost.
Yes, sir.
Like, you better be on your horse when Keaton Mitchell gets it. Because you're going to pull your groin out trying to catch him if you are not full sprint where he's going. And I think that's an element we haven't really seen much with the Ravens offense where it's like, man, heavy home run hitters that are constantly on the field. Like Duvernay, Bateman's like, yeah, they're fast wide receivers, but they're not good enough to be constantly putting pressure on defenses way a running back like Keaton Mitchell can.
Yes.
So I think this team is
it's balanced.
Bro, cup runneth over.
It really is more than balanced.
Yep.
It has elite where it needs to the most important positions to be elite. That offensive line has been tremendous all season. Lamar has been tremendous all season. Yep. Your linebackers and your front seven has been amazing all season. Your back half, your secondary has been decent all season. Marlon Humphrey is starting to get in the form. The young safeties and corners you wanted to
Kyle
start.
Hamilton did not tear his knee.
No, he's
Shout
good.
out to Kyle Hamilton.
He'll be week to week. He might be playing Sunday.
He has a sprain, so man, thank God
he's
been
bro.
playing out
of his mind, bro. He is a real dog, real animal in that field, and they're true joy to watch. Like when you guys get a chance, again, that's the one team this year that I was like, I'm going to watch every game. Eagles, 49ers, and Ravens, I've watched every game this year. But they have been my most fun to watch because I truly love watching Lamar grow. And they just play such a dominant, mean style of football. But when it's time to drop back and Lamar throw 12 times in a possession, 8 times in a possession, it's just surgical. Right. And the last thing I will say is to piggyback off you is that Nelson Aguilar, Rashad Bateman, you really ain't worried about them running a slant. Right. You really don't care about them running a 12-yard dig. Yeah. But you care about them catching the drag in open field. Yep. Or you care about them running a fade and getting a step on your corner. Mm-hmm. Odell, we not really too much worried about Odell breaking off our corner on the line, catching a pass over double team. We not too worried about a tunnel screen from Odell. Right. We worried about Odell catching a slant at the right angle. We worried about Odell catching the ball at 12 yards. Yeah. We don't want Odell in one-on-one coverage because one-on-one you still can't guard him. Really? Zay Flowers. I can go down the list. They have guys to complement each other is what I'm saying. And that is so important to have in your receiving room when you don't have a guy like Tyreek that is just going to make everybody's job easier. Yeah. And then you have a guy like Jalen Waddle that's just like, well, damn. Yeah. So,
let me piggyback off your point because I think this is a great point. And I've thought this with the Ravens wide receivers, but I was kind of waiting for Odell to get back a little healthier. But they built Odell through the rest of the receivers. Like prime Odell would be Zay Flowers, Odell, and Bateman all in one. Right. He'd run the Zay Flowers stuff. He'd run the Odell stuff. But he can't do it all like he used to. So he's still going to be amazing versus zone because he's such a smart player. So he's still going to find the spaces in the zone. He's still going to win every one-on-one matchup because if his hands hit the ball, he's going to catch it. Mm-hmm. He's still going to create, so many opportunities for other people. But you kind of don't want to give him 4 jet sweeps a game. You kind of don't want to, throw him in that fire. But you got this rookie right here. Mm-hmm. He 21. No nothing hurt right now. Like, right. He get up and go. So I think they've really kind of built a superstar receiver through the receivers they have, and that's literally what we were asking. Mm-hmm. We're saying try to go get a great receiver. But if you can't go get a great receiver, go get pieces of one. And let Lamar just work out with those. And that's what you've seen where they're so balanced because everybody's kind of doing a different thing.
Simple as that. Yeah. That's a perfect way to end that. Yeah. So before we get off NFL, let's do some quick game picks for this week. Week 15, I want to say. I think it's week 15. Week 15, let me pull up the schedule. It has been, this season flew by, dog. This last half of the year really flew by. Far. Bro, it flew by. October to now has just like that.
No, it's been hella different.
All right. No one cares about this Thursday night game. Again, I still don't know who the quarterbacks are. And it's 0-0, so where is it? Damn, having a bad phone is really, really fucking me up.
Nah, I picked up my mom. My mom got an iPhone 5C. I picked up not a 5C, a SE. I picked up her phone. I was like, man, this shit moving slow.
All right, here you go. Saturday. Yeah, there's some Saturday games these next 2 weeks. Saturday, Cincinnati, Minnesota. Jake Brown had been balling, and Cincinnati need playoff position, but Minnesota does too, and they bench Josh Dobbs.
I'm going to go Cincinnati because they bench Josh Dobbs.
I am going to go Cincinnati. Yes, sir. Denver at Detroit. Denver wins and Kansas City lose. They get the number 1 seed.
Yeah, Detroit's going to fondle them.
I agree, especially Detroit coming off that loss. Yeah. I got Detroit. Atlanta at Carolina. Arthur Smith's job is on the line if he does not win out.
We all lose, but Carolina's going to win this game for me.
I pray to God. I'm praying to God they win this game.
No, this is going to be for me.
Yo, I need it bad.
Listen, it's going to be 10-10 in the third quarter, and Desmond is going to throw a pick 6.
I need it. I need it bad.
Listen, I need it for the first pick, and I need to watch people defend Arthur Smith after he loses to his Panthers.
I need it.
Yeah.
All right. Jets at Miami. Zach Wilson looked good last week.
Nah, he did. Shout out Zach Wilson.
He looked good last week.
We really hit it on hey, Zach, you're playing again. Like, I kind of don't want to.
Yeah.
I think the Dolphins will win. I think the Dolphins are going to start picking up some real steam right now.
I do too.
I think Reeky's going to come back. Reek is the type of dude, he wants 2,000 yards.
Bad.
He's not like, hey, let's see if I get it. Like, no, he wants
He wants it. And I think if he gets 2,000, he wins MVP. I have Miami in that game, but a close one.
Yep.
Kansas City at New England.
Oh yeah, they're gonna. Yeah, no. We're it's over for us. I can't. Okay. I was very hurt and distraught that we won that game in Pittsburgh.
I bet, bro. I'm sorry. Sorry you had to go through that.
But we're still the second. We're still the second pick. But every day I'm like, man, keep going, Justin. I need you to listen. Justin Fields and Eberflus, man.
Yeah, right.
I need y'all to get that wild card, boy. I need y'all to get that wild card, baby. I need it, bro.
Cowboys at Buffalo. I have Kansas City in that game, by the way.
I'm going to say Buffalo.
All right. I am going Buffalo over Dallas as well, and I'm going Kansas City over New England. Yep. Sunday night game, Baltimore at Jacksonville.
Oh, Baltimore's finna. Ooh.
I got Baltimore by 10.
Listen, go to the woods. You pick it. You pick it.
Last game of the week, Philadelphia at Seattle.
I think it's Philly. I think we're going to get back to schedule with Philly.
I do too.
I think we're going to get back to hey, we're just going to play kind of mean. Like,
I got Philly in a nasty one that they pull away from in the fourth quarter.
I got 4 tush pushes in that game.
For sure. All right, let's close it out with the association, if you will.
Yep.
We'll end the show, as we always do, talking to somebody from the Warriors, because every week, right? Get something with you motherfuckers, man.
Hey.
Fuck.
Hey, remember they started 6-2? Remember they was 6-2.
We was in China party like, man, shit, that might be good.
Like, hold on.
Like that from that conversation on.
It been ass.
All right, I do want to start this just by saluting our dog, Brian, man.
Oh, yeah. Salute.
The Lakers, obviously, by now, won the in-season tournament. And, of course, it's not the biggest deal in the world. They won a bunch of single elimination regular season games. Of course not. Of course, it's not like, oh, my God, they shouldn't raise a banner. No, of course they wouldn't do that. Of course they wouldn't pop champagne after they won, right? I'm just playing.
You're putting up a banner kind of crazy.
Putting up a banner is a little crazy. The champagne, I was definitely have some fun, enjoy it. Because they have to make it something so people care about it. I agree with what they're doing. I think next year it's $500,000 in a guaranteed playoff spot. I guarantee it.
I think he was right.
I think it's playing. That's what it is. That's what I ended up saying. It's a $500,000 in a guaranteed playing spot.
Yeah.
But the reason I wanted to congratulate LeBron is because LeBron is the oldest player in the NBA.
Yep.
And LeBron just made sure his team won an in-season tournament. Now, the championship game was dominated by Anthony Davis, but LeBron got them to the championship, which is why he won that MVP. At 39 years old, the NBA came up with this idea that he didn't have to give a fuck about. Right. He's LeBron James. He could have mailed it in, been like, dog, I ain't worried about that tournament. I want to put that stress. But he treated those games like they were playoff games. So the Lakers had some momentum going into the playoffs, believing in themselves. That was for Cam Reddish and Taurean Prince and Austin Reeves, the young guys, the guys that kind of maybe had their confidence shot by getting swept last year. Those know that was for them to see how playoff basketball works, to see how Bron, the expectations, the greatness Bron is going to demand from you in the playoffs. Yeah. You saw AD even came along for the ride.
Yep.
In all of those games, defensively he shows up every night. Offensively, he doesn't always get his touches and then gets blamed for having 17 points. You don't give a big man the real touches until the third quarter and then complain about how many points he's got.
AD don't ISO enough. Like, what? Like, he don't bring it up in ISO? Like.
But I just want to commend Bron because it is no joke for him to never, ever cheat us. Never cheat the process, never cheat the game, never cheat himself, never cheat his last name, dog. Shout out to Bron, shout out to the Lakers. Clap it up.
That felt like a clap it up. Let's clap it up.
Shout out to my dog, man.
I definitely agree. I want to piggyback off what you said, and you were kind of leading up into this, but Adam Silver came up with his in-season tournament idea, and for Bron to stamp it,
was important.
Is super, super real.
And KD and Steph were trying to. Their teams just
like
didn't get it.
The big dogs stamping it is what is going to keep this going forever.
Yes.
Until they stop doing it. But you could see like, Bron locked in.
Mm-hmm.
Because Bron locked in, they locked in. Because KD locked in, we locked in. Like you could really see it everywhere afterwards. But you could really tell how much they wanted to win. And you were right. It was a playoff like atmosphere. Shout out Tyrese Halliburton. It's been a hell of a week. They called you a superstar. A couple superstars slid through this week. We're going to talk about that in a second. But the level of defense they were playing. How they were playing.
Come on.
The schemes that you will see come.
And playoff time.
Yo,
yes.
Come April, they're not switching on that, Reese. Sorry. That's it. Full court. Trap. We're not going to let you do that. No. Yeah, so I love seeing it. The game was great start to finish. AD played freaking amazing. Yeah. What you talked about, we saw where like he was like, you know what? Y'all not gonna pass me this shit anyway, so I'm just gonna come down. Like he waved D'Lo off a couple times. Like, bro, I got it, man.
Yeah, bro, I'm dominating tonight. That's really all I had on that, man. The Lakers look great, bro. I really like this Lakers team a lot.
Champagne was gas, though.
Again, it was. Again, I do think this whole season is, of course, on AD's shoulder. We know that he has to be the best player for them to win. Yeah. But secondly, Bron's health. Bro, he is 39. He has played the most minutes ever. I know what he is doing is freakish right now, and truthfully, dog, I don't got no reason to believe he won't keep it up, but he hasn't since he got to LA.
Bro, it's like
he just hasn't. And so that's the only thing that's worrying me. That's the only thing about LA that worries me.
No, I definitely agree. It's like, man, this is all gravy for Bron. Like, I am so happy he's still doing it, but I'm not expecting him to play 110 games this year.
No. I'm hoping he gets a break starting now. Yeah. It's over. He took off last night. Right. I'm expecting him to have a couple 25 minutes, a couple of no plays. Yeah. They pretty much exempted him from the rule, that whatever that rule was. Yeah. He's going to get to 65 games because he's going to get that All-NBA in year 21. Right. He's going to get the All-Star selection. He's going to get all that shit. I think if they get up in the top 3, he should start getting some MVP recognition. Yeah. I don't think he should get it because I think it'll be some more people more deserving, but I do think his name should be thrown in the hat for that.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. If their record gets like high enough,
if he's in the top 3 in the West,
for sure,
and still leading, because he's leading them right now. Yeah. AD has to be the best player, but LeBron has to lead them to where they're trying to go. And I think that's why a lot of people get confused when we say that, is because AD wasn't the best then, and you see we lost. And it's like, yeah, that's literally my fucking point, my nigga. Like, they're losing because AD isn't playing up to par. LeBron is there to lead. LeBron is there to put them in a position. LeBron is there to hit the tough shot down the stretch or make the right pass down the stretch. But AD is there to dominate through quarters 1 through 4.5.
No,
or 3.5.
Listen, you've seen it. That's probably my. I don't really argue AD too much in that chat no more. But like, if you're saying the Lakers lose because AD don't play well, you need him to play well. That's what we're saying the same thing. We are saying AD need to play well for them to win. So that's their most important player. That's that. And since he got there, we have always said the Lakers go as AD goes. Go back to the bubble. The Lakers went as AD went, as he outplayed every other big in the league at the time other than Giannis in the bubble. Go look at him cook Jokic. Go look at him play those other bigs. Those were AD series. the team goes as AD goes. This has always been the case. AD's going to carry the defense. Braun is going to carry the offense. But the difference is we are not expecting Braun to carry your offense in year 21. It's not fair to Braun. It's not realistic, and I'm just not going to do it because we watched the games. Like, even in, like, it felt like they was up 30 on the Pacers. They had, like, 100 points. They didn't make a three. They made 2 threes the whole game. Like, this is not an elite offense. This is a defensive team, physical, downhill, playing transition, and all of that goes to the strengths of AD.
But you're not going to beat them by scoring 130 points. They're gonna make you win their way.
Literally.
There's going to be a couple playoff games like Denver. I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about everybody else.
Anybody who don't have Jokic.
Exactly. They're going to have to play the Lakers' way. That's what LeBron is going to make sure of. And that's why I like them so much, because I don't think anybody else can play the Lakers style of basketball. I thought it was one team that could do it, and number 30 is on them, but they're ass. So forget about it.
So
I do have to see Brad, KD, and Book. That might be something.
Right.
So we'll see when that gets there. But right now, other than the Nuggets, I don't think anybody can beat the Lakers the way they want to beat them. So I have a quick question for you that I wanted to ask with our young guys, and then we'll end it with Draymond, bro. Quick TikTok. I just wanted to ask, see where your head is. We did the young point guards last week. This week, starting the franchise today for the next 10 years, would you rather have? And let's put them at the same age.
Right.
Starting at the same age, Devin Booker, Jason Tatum for the next 10 years. Who would you want?
Oh, man. Give me Devin Booker.
All right, why? Give me like a 30 seconds, 40 seconds. Why?
And early in the year, we did our rank our best players, and I had JT over Devin Booker. But in this, feels like a tie to me. Tie goes to the nigga who hooped in the finals. Okay. And as well as JT played getting up to the finals, I thought he played really bad in the finals versus the Warriors his expectations. While Devin Booker, I think, had like multiple 40 balls and was carrying them until Chris Paul, fell apart. But give me Devin Booker. Give me the guy who's just, man, I trust Devin Booker more in games that are gonna matter than I will JT.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. This is really hard for me because I love both these players, but I am going to give the slight edge right now to Jason Tatum. Yeah. And the first point, Jason Tatum, defensively, I think what he brings to the defensive side matter. I think he's one of the 10, 12 best perimeter defenders we have in this league. Also can be a shot blocker, rim protector for smaller guards. I think he's one of the 10 best scorers we have in this league. He is a really good facilitator, great rebounder. I think everything on the court you need him to do, he can do, and he's bigger than Devin Booker, 6'9". The last point I would close this with is if Devin Booker and Jason Tatum switch teams right now, and Jason Tatum, Bradley Beal, and Kevin Durant were playing together, I don't think it would be a question about who's coming out the West.
Yeah, that would be a crazy team.
That's how I end that.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
Draymond.
Man, Trey. Fam, when I saw it, when I saw it, I said, what the fuck? I said, what the fuck? I saw it live. I'm watching the game. And they're trying to take it out. And from I was kind of, I thought he for sure rocked him. I thought he just knocked Nurkic out. I was like, oh yeah, this might be Draymond's last game in the league. I thought he tagged dude. Because even in the replay, if you want to cut him some bail, even if you tried to cut him some bail, you're like, oh yeah, he was trying to knock his hand down. If you try to knock, you knock his hand. You turned in, you pivoted inside, got your head around, found the target, and really gave him one.
He said, I don't even think I'm an accurate enough puncher to connect with him.
Come on, bro, you're not an accurate enough puncher, dude. I miss reporters. I'm telling you, I be missing reporters, bro. We gotta start going to the games, bro. What does that mean, Draymond? Draymond, what does that mean? Draymond, what does that mean, gang? You're not accurate. You got a 7-foot wingspan, nigga. We didn't say you hit him on the temple. You said you punched him. We didn't say, oh yeah, listen, Dre, you really, really locked. Bro, what you did was so unhinged. He said, you know what's so crazy? He still hasn't gotten his punishment. That's how unhinged it was. We still do not know. We are recording this Thursday. Yeah, Thursday night.
2 days after.
It's been 2 days, bro. They still haven't released your punishment because that's how unhinged what you did was, bro.
They suspended you indefinitely.
You're going to get so many games. They said, fuck it. Let's just figure it out while a couple games. Let's just indefinitely suspend him while we figure it out. It was that crazy. Because, what's so, talk to Draymond. just talk to Draymond.
Draymond Green. Look, my man, my dog, my player, my partner, nobody has defended you more throughout these years than I have. Nobody has had your back more than I have, other than maybe Steph and Steve Kerr, dog. This is unacceptable. Fuck the team. Steph Curry is out there fighting for his life. That's the dude you call your brother. I'd go to war for him. I'd do anything for him. We're lifelong friends after this. He is out there fighting for his life, trying to win these games, trying to push this team into contention category. And you are out here. It seems like every game is not, but it seems like every game you are out here making this about you, making this about Draymond's frustration, and making us realize, oh my God, here's Draymond again. Yo, brother. The dude you were trying to post up. I know you don't post up that often no more, so you probably forgot what it was like. But niggas not just going to let you post them up, my man. Yeah. Him grabbing your jersey is a part of basketball. You've done it too. That does not give you the right to turn around and slap his hand down. Because if you would have turned around and slapped his hand down, karate chopped his hand down, they would have called a foul on you anyway, which would have been a detriment to the team in the first place. So the move you were trying to get to was the wrong move in the first place. You weren't even trying to do the right thing. Yep. You were doing the wrong thing, and it led to the even worse thing. And now you're suspended indefinitely. This team is in shambles. Your second option is shit. Your third option is shit. You were the only A-plus player in the starting lineup besides Steph. And now we don't know when you'll be back. You might not play again until the All-Star break. We don't fucking know. Yeah. Because you can't keep your emotions in check. Time after time again, you want to post messages on IG about, don't tell Draymond how to be Draymond. I've been Draymond for so long. I know what I'm doing. My man, I know you do because you up a couple million. But dog, you got to be able to control yourself better than this. When it comes to this aspect, you don't know what you're doing. You do need some counseling. I'm glad they're making you get some counseling because this is unacceptable. You are 35 years old, and they suspended you from the NBA indefinitely.
Yeah. Indefinitely.
You can't play basketball until they tell you to because you can't keep your emotions in check at 35.
One of the oldest people in the league.
You got one of the greatest players, one of the 10 greatest basketball players we've ever seen in his prime at 35, going on 36, out here cooking everybody. And his road dog about to miss 30 games due to suspension over nonsense. Because you want to put somebody in a headlock and turn around and slap somebody upside their head. Yep. But again, we're going to ask you one more time. When you do get a chance to come back, whether that's in 3 weeks or in February, when you do come back, please be on your best behavior because this year and the next 3 years that you're under contract literally depend on it. Whether or not we win championships is your behavior and your emotions. So either you're going to keep costing us because you costed them KD. You costed them KD, Draymond. Stamped. Kevin Durant, stamped. You costed them Jordan Poole, stamped. Who, although he's a terrible defender, wouldn't be helping you that now. It would be real nice to have a guy, a 24-year-old that could go get 20 at will, wouldn't it? Yep. Your fault. Mm-hmm. And I probably shouldn't put this out there. I don't know how true this is, but Bob Myers might have looked at that shit and been like, fuck it. Yeah. Too many Asian superstars with too big of egos to realize who they are. No. That's what y'all are becoming.
I definitely agree.
Draymond. Get your shit together. Klay Thompson, get your shit together. Steve Kerr, thank you for finally benching the veterans. You finally did it. And I think from now on, they see if they not playing, they getting benched 10 to 15 games. Mike Dunleavy said trades are coming if this shit don't change. I expect this roster to be completely different in January.
So let's just hit, a bunch of this stuff. Listen, great job. I 1,000% agree. First, I want to say what concerns me about Draymond is what is it going to take? And I think that's why he was suspended indefinitely. And I haven't seen anybody really say that. But my question for you.
That's a great question.
Because I know you'll see this because everybody watches the show. But what is it going to take, Dre? Because right now, game checks, you're looking at probably $3 million this year, gone. Just, you didn't play. And that's just not even fines, I think. Like, that's just you not getting your game checks. But in 2016, when you were on the verge of becoming the greatest team ever, and the easiest finals game left to clinch that, you get suspended from because you couldn't control your actions. I thought, man, that would probably straighten a lot of people out. You go on to collapse, you lose the series, I get it. And then you get Kevin Durant, we're back on top, it's not enough, it's not as much pressure. And they're like, man, this is the best team ever. And then for the second time, you messed that up. Because you can't control your emotions, for something you're wrong about in hindsight, for the people who forget the situation, you are wrong about if the game is one score less, shot clock off, and Kevin Durant asks you for the ball off the rebound, there is no, I'm pushing the pace. Nigga, give Kevin Durant the ball. So for something you were wrong about, can't control your temper, you got too hot, you're no longer on the best team ever. Which is, all right, listen, it wasn't going to last forever. Some people think. I don't know if that's the case. I thought Kevin Durant loves playing basketball. I thought he loved winning. But there's certain disrespect you won't take. That will be left for the Netflix documentaries in 20 years to decide. Then it got bad. And this is why I thought we would see a different Draymond. Because post-KD, you hated playing with the Warriors. You hated playing those unimportant games. You said it. You are the guy. I come to work to win championships. Play at the highest level against the best players. You hate playing unimportant games. So when your front office miraculously scrapped, I don't want to say miraculously because y'all have Steph Curry. So once everybody came back and Steph Curry went back to doing Steph Curry things around a regular team and y'all got back to the pinnacle of winning a championship, you couldn't get 6 months in without punching one of the most important pieces in the face. To continue this timeline of what is it going to take, it wasn't enough to punch him in the face in front of 100 million people. Because that's what TMZ did. Everybody saw it. People who don't watch basketball saw you punch him. Like, my sister know you punched Draymond Green, punched Jordan Poole. My sister ain't watched a basketball game in years. It wasn't enough to just punch him. You were too immature at 34 to say sorry? You, the big bad bully of the NBA who gonna talk to anybody how you want, who gonna do whatever he want, don't tell Dre what to do. You were too hurt by whatever Jordan Poole said to you in practice that you were willing to throw this entire team in the trash because of it. And congratulations to you, Steve Kerr, Bob Myers. Salute to him for having the foresight to step away. You got exactly what you wanted. You were willing to throw the entire team away to show that Golden State, like, you're more important than Jordan Poole in history, so they're going to side with you. So right now, it's really hard for me to feel bad for the Warriors. I tweeted this. I feel bad for Steph Curry. I'm a huge Steph Curry fan. I've been a Steph Curry fan since Steph Curry was, I think, 2013, 2014, whatever the playoff series with the Warriors. But for the rest of that team, Steve Kerr, I don't feel bad. Because you were one of the people who were supposed to stop this. You were one of the people that was supposed to check Draymond. Klay Thompson, I kind of feel bad, but same for you. Because there were so many stops that could have prevented this. But now, as we stand, 2023, December 14th, you have problems that a team Steph Curry is on should never have. And your hubris is the reason you may not finish your career in Golden State. And it may not be up to you. Because every problem that y'all have now, there was a solution for in 2022. And whether you think that's, you're not going in every year or, players come and go, you not being able to score points with Steph Curry on the court is 1,000% a personnel issue. And when you didn't have that problem? When you were the only team in NBA history to have 3 guards average 20. You punched one of them, and the other one, the reason we joke, I make the Clay jokes, and I kind of feel bad for him, but, none of us are surprised. Achilles ACL back-to-back, we knew eventually the cliff is coming.
He's 34.
But you know what? That was the beauty of it. Don't worry, Jordan Poole's right here. That's what Jordan Poole's for. That's why you give him the Austin Reeves kind of deal. That's why you keep letting him do what he's doing, because you need people to be next. And that is Draymond's problem, and that is the Warriors' problem. And I'm glad you mentioned Steve Kerr finally benching them, is because the idea that there's nothing next is pure hubris. There was always going to be people after y'all. You were always going to need younger people to sustain the dynasty. And that's what Jordan Poole did. But your failure to understand that is the reason the dynasty will not end the way it started. If this team keeps playing like this, Dre, Clay, and Steph, y'all aren't retiring together as Warriors. I promise you. They said Clay, their contract's not even on the table anymore. The contract he was offered before the season is not even an offer. Dre, you in a contract for 4 years, G. You're looking at a wake up in Charlotte or retire scenario if you can't keep this going. Because what they won't do is pay $107 million for 10 points between the both of y'all. Between Clay and Dre, we can't pay $100 million for both of y'all, bro. And that's what y'all are costing.
Clay is shooting the second worst percentage from the field out of every qualified participant that has shot more than 250 shots this year.
Bro, it's so frustrating. And
39%.
And that is my question. That for this rant, what is it going to take? What is it going to take for you to understand that you're hurting yourself way more, way more than you think you are setting a tone?
I will say lastly, because we do need to wrap this up and end with some funny shit. I don't want to serious this out too much. But I do want to end with this. Draymond, you were supposed to be the next Charles Barkley. You were supposed to be the next Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal.
Yeah.
Situations like this put that in jeopardy.
Yeah.
Because people think they can't trust you.
People don't like you.
You're a black man in America, and you're seen multiple times how punching and grabbing and kicking. You're the angry black man. You're not that. I don't want to use that term for you because you're not that. I'm not going to let that define. I'm not going to define you as that on a show. Never, ever. But that is how you're looked at.
That's how they see you.
That's how they're going to continue to see you. I don't want that for you because you're not that. Anytime you hear Draymond speak outside of that's why he had a podcast. That's why he was the first NBA player to get a podcast.
Smart, articulate.
Like, he's funny, like he understands, but he really understands the game. He loves the game. Yep. He understands communication. He understands sports television, how to entertain. He understands it all.
And he's passionate.
About it. He loves to do it. It's not a check. It's something he wants to do with his life after basketball. He wants that TNT spot, and he can have it. Charles is ready to get that shit up.
Facts.
But they're not going to give it to you if they can't trust you, if they look at you as the angry black man, which, again, you're not. But they're going to continue to look at you as that and label you as that if you don't get the act together for the rest of your career, because one or two more incidents where you just look crazy, they might just call it quits on your ass, dog. Bro, I'm being real with you.
Bro, this year, bro, let's say he gets 15. Bro, Draymond, that's why I said, what is it going to take? Because if you think that you're going to be this way for the rest of your career, it's going to be a very short time you're still doing this. And that is, and like Daniel said, there's no bridge from indefinitely suspended for the rest of your career in the NBA or indefinitely suspended to trade it to the Trailblazers and then retired to TNT pipeline. That's not the pipeline you were looking for.
No.
You were
Thank you.
One of the greatest Warriors ever, one of the greatest defensive players ever. It's finally time for me to hang it up. I'm going to go to TNT. If you get thrown out of the league like you're about to, why would the NBA, let alone TNT, why would the NBA allow you to continue to be a face of the NBA?
And quiet as kept, Netflix, Amazon, Apple, trying to get into the NBA bag. Probably. What you think that Amazon broadcasting bag gonna look like? What you think that Apple TV broadcasting bag gonna look like? What you think that Netflix broadcasting bag gonna look like? You could be the pioneer. You could be the face of Apple basketball for the next 25, 30 years. You could be the face of Netflix basketball, NBA basketball for the next 25, 30 years, which brings up you bags, talk show opportunities, multiple things that you can go along and do, but you're going to ruin it because you can't keep your emotions in check on a basketball court, my brother. You're better than that.
Yes, you are. And listen, this show, Super Pro Warrior, Super Pro Draymond Green, we talk about you being the best defender to ever do it. We go call it how we see it, and that's what it was today.
Facts.
I want to, we'll close it with something a lot more lighthearted. Giannis and the Pacers. I can't lie, man. That's probably one of the funniest endings to a game I've ever seen
in my life.
It was so much going on, bro.
Yo, them niggas was finna fight over a basketball, bro.
All of it was so, like, petty. And I love it. Listen,
it was petty as fuck.
Listen, and
they say, our rookie scored our first point.
Listen, Halliburton and the Pacers, y'all are finding out, like, being that young upstart, light skin, running around, scoring offensive points team. Yeah, no, niggas don't like that.
They do not.
You tapping your wrist in front of the world in the in-season tournament.
They don't like that.
They remember it. And
them veterans remember it for Dame. Like, it's not just Dame.
That's the thing. They remember it together because you disrespected them. Mm-hmm. So when Neesmith throw Giannis to the ground, you deserve it. I don't care. Don't tell me that y'all rested your starter. I don't care. I don't. He gave you 64. But to have like, let's take the ball. Like I think that's hilarious.
I think that shit is fun. Hey, find an excuse. Oh, he scored tonight. Fuck it. All right, we give it a.
And listen, I'm a huge Kyrie fan. Let's talk about it the other day when he launched Jamal Murray high ball into the stands.
He threw that bitch to the top row, bro.
He threw it like to the 200s. Like it make you forget how gifted these athletes are. He threw it to the ball was in the air for a minute, and I get it, bro.
I would have took off running. I would have caught the ball on the left.
Bro, what? Listen, I would be walking out, and I would I'd be tracking like Odell. But so how did you feel about it? Like, our rookie scored the first point.
I thought the Indiana Pacers did the right thing, and that Giannis reacted the way I would have if I scored 64 points and I wanted the ball to get to my mom or my kid. Like, give me my fucking ball. But hey, bro, our rookie score. Fuck you. You tapping we was tapping your wrist. Now y'all got an attitude with it. Yeah. Y'all flagrant foul. You running up the score on me. Fuck you. Yeah. And you just beat me in the in-season tournament. Yeah. Fuck you and that ball.
Nah, that Tyrese Halliburton shit was hilarious. Him yelling at Tyrese. Like.
Bro, and then bumped him and all of that. Nah, fuck you and that ball, nigga. Come get it back in the playoffs. That's how I feel.
You saw they signed, bro. You saw they signed.
James Johnson. Ain't no joke.
UFC fighter. I guess. Run in that locker room if you want to.
Run in that motherfucker if you want to now, dog. Run up in here if you want to. Listen. But even funnier, his bonuses on the file when they tried to. Nigga, you.
Like that. You gonna run out there? You gonna run out there, G? Like.
What you finna do, bro?
I believe this from the bottom of my heart. That's a nigga who count his game check every day. That he not throwing away no game check like that. The Nas is a nigga who need to make sure his bag in order. Like, he don't know how many years he gonna be in the league.
His accountant hate him. Bro, his accountant be like, again, bro.
Like, come on, bro. Like,
I told you, it's taxes in each state, dog. It's taxes in each state.
He be like, why is it this now? Like, fam, like. But I thought it was hilarious, and I really hope they didn't give him the game ball. He said they gave him the wrong one. I pray to God.
I hope they did. I pray to God they did.
Like, and you know what? I miss NBA rivalries more because the Pacers.
We need them.
You know, they're a nice guy. Like, I wish Tyrese was a little more like in my like we talked about Draymond taking it too far. In my mind, there's a little gray area. Like if Tyrese Halliburton would have came to the press conference, like, yeah, and what about it? Like what? Like or what?
Yeah.
Like he got the ball. Like what? Like what y'all gonna do? Like,
yeah.
I don't know why he was running the locker room. We gonna take the ball? Like
Facts.
Yeah, fuck out of here.
I think the rivalry got ruined with the super team. Yeah. I think that ruined the rivalry, but I do think it's gonna slowly bring its way back.
But and remember, listen, and you'll like this because we were like kids at the time. Every kind of super team kind of has that one team that like really gets under their skin. Because you remember the Hawks Celtics playoff series?
Hawks Celtics,
Bro,
yep.
Hawks Celtics, Cavs, Raptors.
The Heat had the Pacers.
Warriors, Rockets, Warriors, Trailblazers.
Yep.
Everybody has that one. Like, man, I just getting
that
under
team that's gonna go give them 6 no matter what.
Yeah.
For
and
sure.
I think the Pacers. Listen, Adam. I need 6 games of that. I need 6 games.
I need the other series I need in the West is OKC, Sacramento. I need that series.
Bro.
I need that series bad. I need that young nigga series bad. Yeah. But lastly, to close out the show, $700 million to Shohei Ohtani. What the fuck?
Deferred $700 million.
Dog.
Deferred $700 million.
He's going to move to Japan and get $68 million a year, damn near tax free.
No. It's deferred.
No, I'm saying when he gets the 680, he's going to get those checks. In the next 10 years, he's moving back to Japan. He's gonna,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He's not even gonna do it now. That's what. So
that is hard,
bro.
The taxes wherever the checks are going.
Yeah. Listen, I am
He's gonna be in Japan looking crazy.
My nephew was so confused. Like my nephew, we're in the middle of basketball season. I was like, he's like, "What is this?" I'm like, "It's a catcher's mitt." It's a glove. Like, I spent 2 weeks talking to him about basketball. I walked in there today. I'm like, we got to work on your slider.
And you have to be able to hit 50 home runs. So get up.
I'm like, do this? Like, I got to teach you the torque. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. Baseball, soccer, basketball.
$700 million. Largest
10 years, bro.
Largest contract in North American sports history.
For 10 years, dog.
$70 million a year.
He's gonna get another deal, bro. He's gonna get another. Do y'all get that? He's gonna get another. Yo,
it's baseball, bro. He's gonna play 10 years and just be like, I'll add 3 more.
Bro, he'll get. And you know what's crazy? By the time we get there, bro, it's gonna be 3 years, 320. Like,
it's gonna be something stupid as fuck, bro.
Yo, man, shout out Sohei, man.
Shout out to my dog.
Wish he would have came to the Braves. Kind of glad he didn't.
I was about to say, I'm straight, man.
Traffic
don't need nobody else in Atlanta. Yeah. Never mind.
I'm kind of glad our sports team's ass except the Hawks. Shout out Trey. Like,
that shit way better. That shit. Those games be cheap.
Going to
games
games for cheap.
Games be cheap as hell. Y'all better not win nothing, bro.
My homie was like, man, I want to go to a Philly game with my girl, but they $450. I said, can't relate. I get in the dome for a dub, nigga. I get in them standing room seats today for $35 if I need to. But, shout out to the Falcons, man.
Shout out to the Falcons. Before we get out of here, of course, shout out to the women. We love you. We couldn't do this without you. We wouldn't exist without you.
Shout out to the beautiful.
Shout out to the women. We love you. Episode 60 in the books. Next week, wrap up episode. Tune in, like, subscribe, comment. We are going to be wrapping up all things 2023, heading into 2024. We'll give you some sneak peek into the things we're coming. Y'all get our subscribers up, get our watchers up next year, 2025. We'll be dropping the Patreon and we'll be hitting the ground running. We trying to start making money next year. So y'all subscribe. Y'all do all of the stuff. Socials are in the bio. And we love you. We thank you for your eyes, your ears. Please be safe. Yeah. Please share. Please comment. Please continue to create whatever you're doing. We wish you the best in your endeavors. Again, shout out to the women. Shout out to the mothers. We love you. And happy holidays.
Yeah, and RP.